channel. Today I have an iced almond coffee, and I figured today we could sit down and talk about a topic that I've been thinking about a lot and that I have been struggling with a lot lately. I know I've hinted at it a little bit and talked about it a little bit in my vlogs, but that is body image issues, body confidence. If you guys haven't been watching my vlogs, I have talked a little bit about how I've been struggling with my body confidence and how much weight I gained over the last couple of years, and how I've just been really struggling with how I look, how clothes fit me, all of that stuff. I really try to not let it get to me, but it does, and it's at the worst it's ever been. I really just dislike how I look right now, and that's not fulfilling. No one wants to feel that. So I just wanted to kind of chat about body confidence and body image issues and my struggles and my experience with it, kind of what society expects of us, all of that. So if you're in for this, grab a coffee, let's sit down and let's chat. So I always was a pretty small child. I was always pretty skinny, and I never really struggled with weight issues or body image issues or anything like that. I do remember though, like as early as like 5th or 6th grade, I specifically remember, obviously this was early 2000s, the heroin chic look was really in, where everyone was just like stick thin, wearing low-rise jeans and crop tops. So I was definitely influenced by that. I was also very influenced by like the shows that I watched. One of my favorite shows growing up, and still is one of my favorite shows, was Winx Club, and they are super skinny, teeny tiny waists, teeny tiny like hips and everything. So I was definitely influenced by that, as I feel like a lot of girls were. So I specifically remember, and I remember having this thought a lot, but the one time that I specifically remember, I was in the Walmart parking lot, and we were walking into Walmart, and these girls who were definitely more high school age, they were older than me, walked out, and one of them was walking out. She had her low-rise jeans on and one of those, like, I hate the word, but wife beater tank tops that was cropped on. And I just remember looking at her waist and thinking, why isn't my waist that small? Like, I love that look. I absolutely love it. And I just kind of had that thought and moved on. But I do remember like having that thought a lot of like, why is my waist not that skinny? Whenever I'd see girls that do have tiny waists. But I wouldn't say that I ever really struggled with body image. I just would have those random fleeting thoughts of like, why don't I look like that? I would say that even into like high school, never really thought about it. I went to a private Catholic school, and we had to wear uniforms, and I do remember like, especially when we wore, like, we had to wear skirts. We weren't allowed to wear skirts because there were some issues with those. But I remember, like, you know, the girls would always like roll their skirts up, and I do remember like having some thoughts like, why did their skirts just look so much better than mine? Because and I think it was because they were smaller. But I never really, it wasn't something that I like was fixated on. It would just be like little fleeting thoughts here and there. And the first time I wouldn't say that I struggled, but the first time that body image I think really like affected me, and again it was just for a short, well, I wouldn't say it was for a short moment. Basically I was at the mall with my friends, and we were walking around, and there was a store, I can't remember what it was, that my friends were like, oh, let's go in there and blah blah blah. And one of my friends that we were with was kind of like, I don't know if I want to go in there. And I said something about how like, oh, I've never shopped there before. And my friend looked at me and she's like, yeah, they don't make clothes for you and me. And I was kind of like, well, what does that mean? You know, like I kind of got offended because she wasn't a big girl, but she was definitely not teeny tiny. But I remember getting so offended at that comment, and I was just like, well, what does that mean? And I remember it bothered me for a few months. I was just kind of like, what does that mean? Like, I would constantly look back on it and be like, I'm not, like, I can shop at these stores, like, I'm skinny. And I eventually got over it, but I do remember that was something that I kind of was like, what do you mean? And then in college, I started to get a little bit more of a stomach than I ever had, and that you know, that's normally say the freshman 15 or whatever it is. And I do remember struggling with it a little bit, but not too much. I would just like, I'd wear crop tops and stuff and be like, I don't know, like I feel kind of self-conscious about this, but I also had a lot of confidence in myself at that time, so it was just kind of like, whatever, I look hot, it's fine. It really wasn't until this last, I don't know, I would say 3 or 4 years that I really started to struggle. As I kind of talked about in my health journey video, I gained a lot of weight. I would say that I gained probably 50 to 60 pounds over the last 4 years, 5 years. And obviously, you know, I'm over 30 now. That's normal. Metabolism slows down, and I have thyroid issues. So thyroid issues really make you gain weight. So I've really been kind of struggling. It started out with just like, I just don't like how my stomach looks. I stopped wearing crop tops, but I would still wear tight clothes. I would still, you know, I still thought that I looked pretty good. And then it just, I don't know, one day it just kind of hit me. I think it was specifically at my sister-in-law's wedding. We were taking the photos, and when the photos came back, I didn't recognize myself. Like, I was like, when did I get that big? Like, what happened? And that's what I've been really struggling with, is like how I look in pictures. It's hard for me to look at pictures of myself because I just don't recognize myself. So kind of what I've been struggling with mostly is I almost have the opposite of body dysmorphia. I mean, it is still considered a body dysmorphia, but it's the opposite of kind of the typical body dysmorphia where you think you're bigger than you are. I have the opposite, where I think I'm smaller than I am until I see myself in like a mirror or in a photo or something. I'm like, whoa, I'm a lot bigger than I thought I was. So like I'll, you know, look online and see all these cute outfits that I'm like, oh, this will look so good on me, and then I try it on and I just don't like how it looks. It was interesting. I follow a YouTuber, her name is Rachel Rambles, and she just had a baby earlier this year, and she's been really struggling with like body image herself, and she kind of has the same thing where she feels like she's skinnier than she is. And she put it the best way, like, I've never really known how to describe what it is that I'm feeling, and she said that she doesn't like recognize her body anymore. Like, she looks at herself in the mirror and pictures and she's like, that's not me. And that's kind of where I'm at. I really just don't recognize my body as what it is, and I've been really struggling with it. Like, going into dressing rooms and stuff has been awful for me. Awful. Like, every time I go and try stuff on in the dressing room, I hate how I look. I want to cry. Like, it's really bad for my mental health to try on clothes right now, which sucks because I am trying to like revamp my wardrobe. So that's been really sucky. Thankfully, I will say I was really worried about the struggling with like how I looked on my wedding day with getting my photos back. Nothing. I love my wedding pictures. I love how I looked. I felt so beautiful and confident that day. But just in general, I've just been really struggling. And it has been getting a little bit better, especially with me being more consistent with like working out and stuff. I don't know that I'm necessarily like looking any different, but my body's feeling different. And so I've been feeling a lot more confident in that aspect. I'm really trying to do whatever I can to build my confidence back up. I feel like I just kind of lost my confidence after everything happened with Avery and in 2020 with COVID and my mental health being at its worst. I just feel like I never truly got my confidence back, because I was a very confident person before that. I thought I looked great. I was confident in who I am and what I was doing, and I haven't really felt that since then. I'm also just really struggling with like connecting to my body and feeling good like in my body, not even just about how it looks, but just feeling good in my body and feeling like my body is working with me, because it's not right now. But yeah, it's been a big struggle right now. And I know there are so many people out there who do feel this way. I know that, you know, there is this great movement, and it's fantastic, of like body positivity and being more like welcoming and accepting of like plus size people. And that is fantastic. That is absolutely fantastic. But I know so many more people struggle, and especially now, like, heroin chic is coming back with Gen Z, and that terrifies me. And I don't know. I worry for the future, because we have done so much work on like accepting and being more size inclusive and stuff like that, and I'm really worried that that's gonna kind of take a step back. What I'm really trying to focus on now is not so much how I look, but just like taking care of my body and how my body feels, and, you know, having energy and being able to do the things I want to do, like filming. I have had so much motivation for filming and stuff, and I've been really consistent with my uploads, and I know a lot of that is because I'm taking better care of myself. And so I'm really trying to shift my mindset, but it's still something I struggle with every single day. It doesn't matter what I put on. It's not very often that I'm like, man, I feel cute today, and that really sucks. That's a really sucky feeling. And so I'm working on it. That's one of the biggest things I want to kind of work on in this healing journey that I'm on, and I'm aware of it. That's important. I am aware of it, and I'm aware of my thoughts, and I do when I catch myself, which is most of the time, I try to be like, no, don't think that way, like, and I try to focus on like parts of myself that I do love. And, you know, I'm really trying to work on it. So yeah, I mean, body image just is a hard thing. It's a really hard thing no matter who you are. And I feel like everyone struggles with it at some point, and it sucks. It just kind of sucks, the society that we live in right now. So that's where I'm gonna leave it, because I am running out of room on this memory card on my camera. So thank you guys so much for chatting with me today. Let me know down in the comments below what your opinions are, what you're struggling with, that kind of thing. If you guys are not already subscribed, please be sure to hit that subscribe button down below so you don't miss any of my future uploads. Also be sure to check out my TikTok and my Instagram, which will be linked down below. I'm really hoping to do more stuff on there. As always, I appreciate you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys.